Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into the jaw-dropping downfalls of celebrities who went from red carpets to prison cells. These once glorified stars now find themselves locked away, their fame overshadowed by scandals that shook the world. From fortune to felony, their shocking choices led to consequences no one saw coming. Drop a fire emoji in the comments and stick around as we expose the rise, the fall, and the crimes that sealed their fate. Bill Cosby, once revered as America's dad for his iconic role in The Cosby Show, saw his legacy crumble in a dramatic fall from grace. He became the first high-profile celebrity of the Me Too movement to be sentenced to prison for his crimes. Judge Stephen O'Neill, overseeing the case at the Montgomery County Courthouse in Norristown, Pennsylvania, delivered the ruling with firm resolve, emphasizing that justice could no longer be delayed. Bill Cosby, once celebrated as America's dad for his iconic role in The Cosby Show, saw his career and legacy crumble under the weight of scandal. He became the first high-profile celebrity of the Me Too movement to be sentenced to prison for his crimes. Judge Stephen O'Neill, presiding over the case at the Montgomery County Courthouse in Norristown, Pennsylvania, delivered the verdict with firm conviction, stating that justice had been long overdue and could no longer be denied. Though Cosby showed little visible reaction as the sentence was handed down, later reports suggested he appeared relaxed, even smiling and chatting with his legal team. Given the opportunity to address the court before sentencing, he chose to remain silent. However, the conversation about his crimes continues to echo in legal circles, serving as a stark reminder that neither fame nor wealth can shield anyone from justice. Before Young Thug rose to fame with hits like Pick Up the Phone and Lifestyle, he was allegedly entangled in gang-related activities. On May 9th, 2022, he was arrested on charges of conspiracy and gang involvement, with allegations stretching back to 2013. In total, he faces 56 charges, many of which are severe. One particularly damning accusation ties him to the rental of an Infiniti Q50 sedan, which was reportedly used in the murder of rival gang member Donovan Thomas Jr. Beyond the conspiracy and gang-related charges, Young Thug faced additional legal trouble following a police raid on his home. Authorities charged him with possession of controlled substances with intent to distribute, and they uncovered a cache of dangerous weapons, including sawed-off shotguns and rifles. More gang-related charges were subsequently added to his record. As a known affiliate of the YSL Street Gang, he is among 28 individuals facing prosecution. Currently in custody, he awaits trial scheduled for January 9, 2023. If convicted, he could be sentenced to up to 20 years in prison. Toby Willis was once the revered patriarch of the Willis clan, a musically gifted family that captivated audiences on their TLC reality show. With his 12 children, the talented group dazzled fans and even made it to the quarterfinals of America's Got Talent in 2014, earning nationwide acclaim. But beneath the wholesome image lay a dark secret waiting to be exposed. The shocking truth would later shatter the family's once-cherished reputation, unraveling the illusion of their picture-perfect success. But few were aware of the dark truth hidden behind the image of the Willis family, a secret that could have destroyed their entire reputation. Beneath the warm and loving facade of the family lay a horrifying reality. Toby Willis was, in fact, an unlawful sexual predator, targeting 4 girls, including his 3 daughters and a relative, while they were under the age of 18. This heartbreaking truth came to light in 2016 when a brave victim decided to speak out and report the abuse to authorities. Toby Willis was arrested, and even more disturbing details were uncovered. In 2017, he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of sexual abuse of a minor, permanently tarnishing the image he had built in the public eye. He was subsequently sentenced to 40 years in prison without the possibility of parole and ordered to pay a staggering $1.4 million to his victims. Additionally, he was required to register as a sex offender for life. The repercussions of his heinous crimes rippled through his entire family. Ryan Grantham, a 24-year-old actor known for his work in television and film, stunned the world in 2020 with a shocking and unforgivable crime. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for the brutal killing of his mother, Barbara Waite, and was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 14 years. During a June hearing in Vancouver, the court heard chilling details of the case. On March 31, 2020, Grantham shot his 64-year-old mother in the back of the head while she was playing the piano. Even more disturbingly, he recorded a video confession and concealed her body, revealing the calculated nature of his actions. The shocking story didn't end there. The day after the murder, Grantham packed his car with 3 guns, ammunition, 12 Molotov cocktails, and camping gear, intending to assassinate Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. However, he ultimately abandoned the plan and instead turned himself into Vancouver police. Presiding Judge Kathleen Kerr described his decision to surrender as his saving grace. Psychiatric evaluations presented in court revealed that Grantham had been battling severe depression for months before the crime, expressing deep self-hatred and suicidal thoughts. According to CBC, the court determined that he killed his mother to spare her from witnessing the violence he had initially planned. Harvey Weinstein, the disgraced film mogul whose predatory actions fueled the Me Too movement, has been dealt another crushing blow, a 16-year prison sentence in Los Angeles, adding to the 23-year term he is already serving in New York for sexual assault and abuse. In December 2019, a Los Angeles jury found Weinstein guilty of molesting and sexually assaulting a woman known as Jane Doe 1. Her harrowing testimony laid bare the deep trauma she suffered, emphasizing that no prison sentence could ever truly erase the damage he inflicted. Throughout the trial, Weinstein's defense team resorted to outdated misogynistic tactics, attempting to discredit the victims with demeaning arguments. In a particularly appalling move, they targeted Jennifer Siebel Newsom, an actress and wife of California Governor Gavin Newsom, belittling her as a shallow woman in a desperate bid to undermine the Me Too movement. Despite Weinstein's pleas for leniency, where he painted himself as a frail, ailing 70-year-old and emphasized his contributions to the film industry, the court remained unwavering. His sentencing not only delivered a measure of justice to his victims, but also reinforced a powerful reckoning against abuse, power, and entrenched sexism in Hollywood and beyond. Rising to fame in the late 1990s under the stage name Big Lurch, he struggled to find his breakthrough after his debut album failed to leave a mark. His challenges escalated when a devastating accident left him with a broken neck after being hit by a drunk driver. Desperate to manage the pain and cope with his stalled career, he turned to PCP, a decision that would lead to a terrifying downward spiral. What started as a way to escape his suffering quickly evolved into a severe addiction. Consumed by the drug, he stopped eating and drinking, slipping further into delusions until he completely lost his grip on reality. Under the influence of PCP, Big Lurch descended into a nightmarish delusion, convinced that demons were lurking inside his roommate's stomach. At 6 feet 7 inches, he towered over the 21-year-old woman, leaving her utterly defenseless against his brutal, frenzied attack that claimed her life. The drugs he consumed played a central role in the horrific crime, warping his perception of reality beyond recognition. When authorities arrived, he was completely detached, seemingly oblivious to the gruesome violence he had just committed. In November 2003, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, as the severity of his actions left no room for leniency. His insanity plea was denied, with the court ruling that his drug use had been a voluntary choice, sealing his fate behind bars. Jim Gordon was a revered drummer in blues and rock, leaving his mark alongside legends like Eric Clapton and Alice Cooper. Yet beneath the surface of his celebrated career, he waged a silent war against an insidious foe, schizophrenia. Plagued by relentless auditory hallucinations, including the haunting voice of his mother, he sought help but was tragically misdiagnosed with alcoholism. Without proper treatment, his condition deteriorated, and psychosis tightened its grip. In a devastating break from reality, his delusions consumed him, driving him to commit an unthinkable act against his own mother, an irreversible tragedy that forever overshadowed his musical legacy. Arrested in 1983, Jim Gordon was finally diagnosed with schizophrenia, exposing the years of torment that had gone undetected. Though sentenced to 16 years in prison, persistent concerns over his mental state and potential risk to society led to repeated parole denials, ensuring his continued incarceration. His story is a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of untreated mental illness and the tragic outcomes that can arise when those in need are misdiagnosed or ignored. Despite his extraordinary contributions to music, Gordon's life serves as a haunting testament to the silent struggles many endure and the urgent need for better mental health awareness, intervention, and support. In downtown Los Angeles, struggling actor Zack Avery chased Hollywood dreams, but found himself trapped in an endless loop of auditions and rejections. Desperate for success, he abandoned the stage for a far more audacious performance, one built on deception. From 2014 to 2019, he transformed himself into a master con artist, weaving intricate lies to lure investors, including close friends and family, into his fraudulent movie rights scheme. By falsely promising lucrative deals with streaming giants like Netflix and HBO, he built an empire of illusion, amassing a fortune on empty promises. But beneath the glitz and fabricated success lay a harsh reality. His entire operation was nothing more than a carefully orchestrated fraud waiting to unravel. In reality, Zack was running a textbook Ponzi scheme, shuffling funds from new investors to cover old debts while desperately keeping his deception alive. But no illusion lasts forever. His elaborate facade eventually crumbled, and the law caught up with him. Sentenced to 20 years in prison, Zack now faces the full weight of his greed, ordered to repay over $230 million to those he defrauded. As he sits behind bars, his meteoric rise and catastrophic downfall serve as a stark warning, proving that in Hollywood and beyond, schemes built on lies and manipulation are destined to collapse, leaving nothing but ruin in their wake. R. Kelly, Robert, faced legal troubles dating back to the 1990s, but it wasn't until 2021 that he was formally indicted. Once one of the most successful R&B artists of the early 2000s, he is now serving a prison sentence for crimes including human trafficking and sexual abuse. His controversies first surfaced in 1994 when he was accused of coercing singer Aaliyah into falsifying her birth certificate to facilitate their marriage while she was still underage. Shocking allegations continued to surface in the years that followed, including claims that R. Kelly harmed a woman in 1996. By 2002, disturbing videos depicting his misconduct with minors had spread widely, and authorities confiscated a camera containing illicit images. However, despite the mounting evidence, the charges were ultimately dismissed due to a lack of sufficient definitive proof. Yet the case was far from over. R. Kelly faced further accusations of holding multiple women captive in an abusive environment. As more details emerged, numerous survivors bravely stepped forward to share their experiences. Their testimonies played a crucial role in his conviction, leading to a 30-year prison sentence handed down in June 2022. Zara Phythian, 39, and her husband, Victor Mark, 59, recently faced trial at Nottingham Crown Court in the UK, where they were convicted of 14 counts of sexual abuse. Their crimes took place from 2005 to 2008, when the victim was still a minor. According to BBC, testimony from the victim, identified as A, detailed the couple's brutal abuse. The victim reported being threatened into silence and feeling unable to escape the situation. Victor Mark also faces 4 additional charges after a second woman accused him of sexually abusing her between 2002 and 2003, when she was under 18. Senior Investigation Officer Parander Dillon commended both victims for their bravery in coming forward and expressed hope that the sentencing would offer them some measure of closure. He further stressed that this case should serve as a stark warning to others, reinforcing the importance of justice for survivors. Tay-K, one of the youngest artists on this list, is currently serving a 55-year prison sentence. In 2017, he was making waves in the hip-hop scene as his breakout hit, The Race, climbed the Billboard Hot 100 chart, but his rising career took a drastic turn on the very day the song was released. After spending 3 months on the run, authorities finally caught up with him, leading to his arrest. However, Tay-K's legal troubles ran far deeper, as he was soon linked to multiple serious criminal cases. In 2016, Tay-K took part in a home invasion that resulted in the death of a young man named Ethan Walker. The initial plan was to rob a drug dealer and his friends. Tay-K was placed under house arrest for these charges, but that wasn't his style. He cut off his ankle monitor and fled, even bragging about it on Twitter, daring the police to catch him. While on the run, Tay-K's legal troubles escalated when he participated in a robbery that led to a man's death outside a Chick-fil-A in Texas. Adding to his crimes, he also assaulted and robbed a 65-year-old man, who later identified him to the police. Since his arrest in 2017, Tay-K has remained in custody, with a minimum of 27.5 years to serve before he is eligible for parole, sealing his fate behind bars for decades to come. Joe's son, best known for his small role in the first Austin Powers film, gained notoriety not for his acting but for his criminal past. His life spiraled into darkness with convictions for brutal crimes, including sexual assault, torture, and manslaughter. In 2011, he was found guilty of abducting and assaulting a woman in Huntington Beach. While serving his sentence, he was later charged with the killing of his cellmate, Michael Graham, further cementing his reputation as a violent offender. Joe's son's criminal past began in 1990 with a horrific case involving kidnapping, sexual assault, and death threats against a woman on Christmas Eve. He initially escaped justice but was later identified through DNA evidence after a felony vandalism conviction. Though he had a fleeting moment in Hollywood, his heinous crimes overshadowed any career aspirations. His violent nature not only led to a life behind bars, but also played a role in his eventual demise while incarcerated. His story stands as a grim testament to the devastating impact of unchecked criminal behavior, highlighting the lasting damage inflicted on victims and society. Kaalan Walker embodies the dark side of influence and manipulation in the digital age. Leveraging his public persona and social media presence, he meticulously crafted an illusion of trust and opportunity to ensnare his victims. Far from just misleading them, he exploited their admiration and dreams, turning their hopes into tools for his own sinister agenda. His actions serve as a chilling reminder of the dangers lurking behind carefully curated images and the devastating consequences of misplaced trust in those who abuse their power. Walker's 50-year prison sentence stands as a significant victory for justice, sending a clear message that sexual predators will be held accountable. Yet the fight doesn't end here. Ongoing efforts to strengthen victim protections and improve the legal system remain critical. His case serves as a sobering reminder of the need to protect the vulnerable and ensure that those who manipulate, exploit, and harm others face the full force of the law. Adidja Palmer, better known as Vybz Cartel, rose to international fame as a reggae and dancehall icon. But his career took a dark and unexpected turn. His downfall began with a dispute over a missing firearm, which he believed had been stolen by Clive "Lizard" Williams. What followed was a shocking chain of events that led to Cartel being accused of orchestrating Williams' murder. Unlike another musician we'll discuss later in this video, who ended up in prison after mistakenly attacking an innocent homeless man, Cartel's legal troubles stemmed from an alleged act of calculated retaliation, sealing his fate and forever altering his legacy. On December 29, 2011, Vybz Cartel was arrested on charges of drug possession and illegal firearms. Although he was granted bail for these offenses, his freedom was short-lived as he remained in custody due to his alleged involvement in the murder of Clive Williams. His trial was riddled with delays, including a 3-year setback caused by challenges in selecting a jury. Finally, on November 18, 2013, after an intense 65-day trial, one of the longest in Jamaica's history, an 11-member jury found him guilty. As a result, Cartel was sentenced to life in prison, with eligibility for parole after 32 years and 6 months, meaning the earliest he could walk free would be in 2046. Austin Jones gained popularity through his YouTube singing videos, performing covers and original songs that amassed over 500,000 subscribers and millions of views. However, in 2015, his rising career took a sudden hit when he abruptly canceled his scheduled appearance on the Vans Warped Tour. Soon after, he uploaded a YouTube video addressing the allegations against him, expressing remorse for his actions. On June 9, 2017, authorities executed a search warrant at Jones's home, issued by a U.S. federal judge. Later that day, he was arrested at O'Hare International Airport. On May 3, 2019, he was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison. During the investigation, shocking details emerged, revealing that multiple individuals had attempted to conceal his misconduct. As a consequence, YouTube permanently removed his channel. Danny Masterson's life is a stark example of success tainted by scandal. Born in Long Island, New York in 1976, he rose to fame as Stephen Hyde in the hit series That 70s Show, winning over audiences with his enigmatic persona. However, his career took a dramatic downturn in the mid-2010s when serious allegations of sexual assault emerged, shattering his once glowing reputation. The turning point came in June 2020, when Masterson was formally charged with 3 counts of sexual assault, marking the beginning of his legal downfall. Danny Masterson's legal troubles have overshadowed both his personal and professional life, casting a dark cloud over his once thriving career. The fallout was immediate, as his talent agency swiftly cut ties, leaving him isolated from an industry that once celebrated him. As of 2023, at 47 years old, Masterson remains entangled in legal uncertainty. His case continues to spark discussions on the intersection of fame, power, and accountability in Hollywood. The final verdict will inevitably shape his future, leaving a lasting mark on both his career and personal legacy. The murder case of C-Murder drew widespread attention in 2003 when the former rapper was arrested for the killing of 16-year-old fan Stephen Thomas. Corey Miller, better known by his stage name C-Murder, has consistently asserted his innocence. The incident originated from a rap battle in 2002 when Thomas accidentally bumped into a member of C-Murder's group, sparking a violent confrontation that ended with Thomas being fatally shot. Key developments later emerged when 2 witnesses testified that they had been pressured by authorities into identifying C-Murder as the shooter, casting doubt on the integrity of the case. Darnell Jordan, a security guard at the scene, later revealed that he was arrested and detained until he agreed to testify against C-Murder. The case gained renewed attention in 2020 when Kim Kardashian publicly advocated for a re-examination of the evidence, aiming to uncover the truth. Despite her efforts, C-Murder remains behind bars, serving a life sentence. His only path to freedom lies in presenting compelling new evidence that not only proves his innocence but also identifies the true perpetrator of the crime that unfolded on that fateful night. Thank you for watching today's video about the stars currently rotting in prison. We hope these stories have given you a better understanding of their lives in challenging circumstances and the pressures they face. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss any exciting content in the future. See you in the next video.